Hello and welcome to Big Dumb Movie, where we discuss movies of the big dumb variety. I'm your host, Corey, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Alan.
Hello.
Get off your phone, Alan. Steve.
Aloha.
No, I'm just kidding. You can.
We don't care. Use your phone.
Today we have a special guest with us, a man that hails all the way from Alabama, in the United States of America, the land of the free, by the way.
Oh, yeah, totally right.
Well, this is him. You know him. You love him. This is Josh, the review dude. Say hello.
Hello, this is Josh. Not to be confused with Josh from Spoilers. This is a way more embarrassing Josh.
That's right. We've had two guests named Josh. What are the odds, right?
Oh, dude, it's a super fucking common name.
Is it? Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, Steve. I mean, probably the most common, right?
Wait, are there other Steves? Oh, you're blowing my mind here, man.
Steve Seagal.
Oh my god.
Steve McQueen.
How dare you?
There's a little movie that we watched called 13 Ghosts. A movie that has a 15% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, by the way.
Does it?
That's pretty
Holy
good.
shit.
I know we've spoken about his, let's just say the validity of his opinion, but Roger Ebert somehow really liked this movie, apparently.
Really?
I mean, didn't give it a very high score, but actually did speak positively about it.
So, he liked this movie, but he didn't like Gremlins 2? What the fuck?
Right? He also didn't like Die Hard.
Alan, what was the budget on this 13 Ghosts?
The budget was $42 million, and the box office was $68.5. So it actually made some money.
I don't know if that counts marketing, though.
Yeah,
right,
I was
the
about
budget.
to say, if you count marketing, it probably barely broke even.
Broke even.
I think it did break $100 million internationally.
You know, it reminded me of the House on Haunted Hill movie. I kept thinking back to that.
Which is made by the same studio. This is Dark Castle. They made House on Haunted Hill and then this one. And then the idea was they were going to release a horror film once every year. And then they hit Gothica. And then obviously they did away with that.
Ooh.
I see. So they were the Blumhouse of their day?
Yes.
Interesting.
Gothica was a bad
Wait,
decision.
which one is Gothica?
Had
With
Holly
Robert
Berry.
Downey Jr. and Halle Berry, yeah.
Yeah.
The guy that directed this, Steve Beck, I looked him up. I wanted to see what this guy had directed.
Yeah.
I saw two movies.
Yep.
Both had Ghost in the name.
Yeah, this and Ghost Ship, which is the second, the next movie after this. So he stayed in the Dark Castle family until that. And I guess, if you guys have seen Ghost Ship, it's not good.
Well, let's talk about 13 Ghosts and how it opens up, which I think one of you guys will have to take. There's a lot going on here. What I remember is there was some SWAT guys and some SUVs, and we get to see, what are some of our main characters, F. Murray Abraham and Matthew Lillard as Cyrus and Dennis, respectively.
I guess they're ghost hunting, right? They're super on the next level of Pokemon hunting, and they're now collecting full-blown ghosts. There's some seizure-inducing editing going on with a bunch of like quick flashes. Did you guys notice that?
Oh yeah, and there's a part that I liked as well with Dennis, Matthew Lillard. He has a special power, and it ain't the Dennis system, man.
It's not the Dennis system. So, okay, they establish early on that he's a bit of a psychic, and F. Murray Abraham breaks out a map and just like points his little fucking cane to it, and it's like, yo, point out where the fuck he is. And somehow he's able to do this by touching the ground, but later in the film, like, he has to touch people in order for his power to work, so it's a little inconsistent there, but whatever.
There's a lot of things that we picked up along the way who are like, what are the rules? They're not clearly established, especially Alan. I mean, that's really Alan's
Very
realm, right?
inconsistent.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
then there's nothing makes sense.
Under
fuck
what
up.
circumstances can the ghosts touch you is never really established. Like, it's sometimes they're in the same room 3 feet from each other, but the ghosts can't touch you, and then other times they can touch you. Alright, so if you can see them, they can touch you, because that's the only thing I can come up with.
No, I think it attacks a character later on in the film that isn't wearing glasses.
Oh, I think they're trying to trap a ghost, right? They have a machine.
Yeah. This is like this like glass enclosure. It's very gothic steampunk looking. I like the design aesthetic of it, but it's still a stupid, goofy, cumbersome thing. It's this huge, like, it looks like a glass elevator.
They start getting attacked by the cameraman from Evil Dead, who starts like pulling people into cars and wreaking havoc.
It's kind of a knock on that opening scene in Jurassic Park where they're trying to move the raptor and the dude gets pulled into the enclosure with it.
Shoot her! We get to meet who becomes our main characters here. We got Tony Shalhoub as Arthur. We got Kathy, Shannon Elizabeth.
At what point did you guys realize Tony Shalhoub is just too good for this movie?
Goats?
I'm not sure.
It's like,
not
did
sure
he read
really
the
is.
script? He wrote the script, right?
Right. Somebody had to.
What I want to know is this before or after Galaxy Quest? Does anyone know?
I think before, but not by much, maybe a year.
Definitely before Monk, though, right?
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
and
yeah.
Oh, you know what? Was he also in Mystery Men?
No,
I think
no, not that I'm aware of.
all right, never mind. I'm just misremembering that cast.
Alan Rickman was.
Now we get to meet the house. The house is its own thing here in this movie. The house is pretty much where they are the rest of the movie, and they all go up to it because they just inherited it. I mean, Josh, can you tell us about this house? You've seen this movie a lot. How would you describe it to someone that's never seen it?
Okay, so imagine like a house version of the cube from Hellraiser, but it's made out of glass.
Holy shit.
It's an interesting way of thinking about it. That the box is called the Lament configuration,
Okay, yeah.
Here goes Steve with the fucking deep facts here.
or
Yeah,
Le Marchand's
super.
box.
Way to call me out, motherfucker.
Right?
Well, actually,
Right? Yeah, oh my God, I've become the well actually kid. Well, I'm gonna go throw myself into traffic, everybody.
I mean, the house, all the walls are glass. They all have this like gibberish text on it, which we learn is like all magic spells.
There's a big circular mechanism at the center of the house that has signs, astrological signs on it, on multiple different rings. And depending on how the rings line the symbols up, that's what controls the movement of the door, the walls.
this is where they spent their $42 million.
Yeah, building this ridiculous set.
No love from Josh.
There's already someone at the house.
Oh, yes. He's an electrician, and he says that the house has been knocking out the power, but immediately you can tell it's Matthew Lillard.
All Shaggy up to his Scooby-Doo
Yeah.
shenanigans.
He has an orange suit and a badge, and he's like, oh, I got to get in the house because, the power's out and it's a big deal.
He's quite a pushy electrician, isn't he?
About time somebody showed up. Is this your place?
Who are you?
I'm the power guy. Don't touch. Look, you probably don't know this, but your house is knocking out the power of the whole tri-quad area. I need to get inside and check the breakers.
There's like the greaser going with the bat.
Yeah, so can we bring that up? Alright, this is a point I've been wanting to make for years. Who the fuck killed the baseball bat? Why is there a ghost baseball bat? Did the baseball bat die too?
Someone didn't save the trees.
Like the arrow that was in the kid's head, went with him.
I can accept that because that's like in his physical form, I guess. Like it's the same with the Hammer character, but it's
Right.
like that guy clearly didn't die with a baseball bat.
Now, here's the best
inside
part
him.
of all that. So the hot ghost, her fake tits went with her.
So the lawyer, he sees the female ghost and she has like a fat knife and he's like backing up and he's all scared because he knows that she's probably going to kill him.
Ghost knife.
Yeah. Ghost knife. And as he's backing up, like he's trying to like be cool about it. Out of nowhere, the doors close. And when it happens, you see the doors close, but he's just kind of standing there frozen. Like you know what happened, but you don't actually see it for like maybe like 10, 15
He
seconds.
loses his tie first.
Yeah. And then you see the front of his body slide off the glass because then it's like, oh, he got cut in half.
Now, a lot of the movie from here on out, at least a lot of the second act, is our main group of people looking for the kid, and then later Shannon Elizabeth as well, Kathy.
So, side note, I know Shannon Elizabeth on my channel from getting fucked to death by a snowman on Jack Frost. So, she has a bathroom scene later on with the big titty ghost. It's like the second most embarrassing bathroom scene she's ever recorded or filmed.
Oh man,
Big titty ghost. So she has a ghost knife, and she has to have that, right? It's part of like the lore, like they have this thing that they died with or whatever.
Yeah, apparently. I know she said that they died. Like she died in violence or something like that. And now they exist in like a violent place where it's all they know.
Except for the mom, who also died in violence, but it's cool.
Oh yeah. Somehow she's chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's burned, but only half of her.
It's like Phantom style.
Anyway, there's a ghost a little bit after the the bathroom scene that attacks Kathy, who is Shannon Elizabeth, that this is my favorite ghost. And we could talk about our favorites at this point, I guess. But it's like a Linda Blair ghost with a metal box on
The
its head.
jackal, yeah.
Yeah.
The jackal.
Yeah.
That's a good one, man. It looks
jackal.
scary. What do you guys think? What are your favorites?
That's my favorite, yeah, totally.
Steve?
I think he probably is mine. 'Cause he reminds me the most of the Cenobites from Hellraiser, and they're cool.
Which guy?
The dude with the metal box on his head with the vice inside.
Oh, that's not a
was like-
woman?
Oh, is it a woman?
I don't
No,
know.
it's a
that's
dude,
the
I think.
jackal.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that
the jackal.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the hammer, the guy with like the nails in him.
Oh, a nail guy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the nail guy was
Not
good, too.
Candyman.
Right, but this is the dude with, oh man, the Candyman movies are awesome. But like, right, yeah.
Are they, though?
There's a scene here. I think it's the hammer. He starts chasing after Arthur, and they kind of like have to climb a rope and like go to the next floor. And it barely misses him as he climbs up the rope and gets to the next floor. But I don't get why the ghost can't like jump or fly. Like, what's the rules here again?
Or I think they had like spells on the floor, right?
Yeah.
But that's how he climbed up, though. He climbed up through the shaft. There was
Oh, you're
nothing
saying
there.
why can't the ghost go through the shaft
Yeah,
around the
or,
spells?
like, climb up.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Maybe I don't know how
He
big the
wasn't
barrier
quick
is.
enough, and they shut it up.
I don't know.
Well, we also get to meet another character that's introduced briefly in the beginning, but reintroduced here, who's Kalina. She comes to like save the day at one point when Kathy's about to be taken by a ghost. She's getting like scratched up.
She tries to explain to Tony Shalhoub that she's like here to free the ghost, and she has like a weird, like crazy laugh where she's like,
I'm pretty sure Kalina's a Mortal Kombat character.
Oh yeah, Millina was a Total Recall
There it
character.
is, yeah.
I mean, Kalina is in the spirit reclamation business, which is a note I took down. Is that the line she said? Am I getting this correctly?
Oh, that was it. Steve was dying.
Yeah. The spirit reclamation business. What the fuck does that mean? What a ridiculous way to put it.
I mean, it could only have been cornier if she said, and business is good, right?
Right, and business is good.
she had a business
It
card.
was-
Well, I guess it's supposed to be a big reveal, but it's not really to the audience. That one of the ghosts is Arthur's dead wife.
He's the 13th ghost.
So Arthur is the 13th ghost, not
Yeah.
the wife, right?
No, Arthur is.
Okay. And what does that mean exactly?
They actually said it in the beginning of the movie because they talk about getting all 12. And in the beginning, he's like, oh, but you need 13. And the 13th ghost is some made up bullshit about how they need a ghost born from pure love. And like he needs to sacrifice himself.
You
Like,
gotta
it's really-
believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta believe you can become the 13th ghost.
All right. So, I mean, we're kind of getting into the last act here. I mean, Steve, why don't you bring it home? I mean, what's going on here with this big contraption, and the guy's still alive, Cyrus? Why don't you take it from there?
So we reveal that Cyrus is alive. Makes a lot more sense that the house, the mechanism is working, because now he's actually going to be there to take advantage of the power that it's going to create when it works. Ultimately, what F. Murray Abraham's character Cyrus wants is for Monk to commit suicide, basically, because he needs an additional ghost, a 13th ghost that was created out of an act of love. For some reason, that ghost completes this process.
Why does Monk, Tony Shalhoub, feel the need to count the ghosts? Like, you know how many motherfuckers there are here.
Right?
Oh, yeah. He had to count them again just for the viewers.
Oh, yeah.
When
That
they
was
went through it the
definitely...
first time.
He did roll call. He's like, yep, they're all here.
That was right. It's so apt. Absolutely. That was definitely a for the audience moment. It's like, we just want to remind you, here's the ones that are here.
Look, here's all the ghosts. Like, it's a climax. We have
Right.
them all.
I don't know if you guys caught it, but at one point he's beating up Monk and he calls him a loser.
Loser!
And it's like, damn, first of all, you burned me harder than that house burned my wife. Second, like, I'm sorry I didn't dedicate my entire life to some kind of weird satanic ritual. I thought I would just have a family and kids. You know, the normal shit.
What a loser.
Not,
Fucking
not
loser.
trying to
Fucking
summon.
loser?
You haven't spent your entire adult life pursuing satanic powers. Like,
And Latin magic.
right?
Trying to summon the eye of the devil.
I mean, this is what happens when you read Harry Potter.
It'd
This
be-
is where it leads.
Oh, wait. We forgot to mention the part when they're looking for the kids. And Tony Shalhoub is yelling, and the woman, the nanny is yelling, and Matthew Lillard explains to them that they can't be heard because the place is assembled using ectoglass.
Was that supposed to be like a Ghostbusters reference?
I hope so. Otherwise, like, I would probably promise a significant chunk of my year's salary for Ecto Cooler that wasn't spoiled.
It sounds like some shit
I
some
want
guys.
some so bad.
It's a goddamn shame that Ghostbusters reboot failed.
How does it take you an hour to go up one flight of stairs? I have now moved above you, and you still can't help me out.
I have really bad knees.
So everything blows up. There's a huge, like, really loud, drawn out explosion scene where everything's just blowing up. The house is done. And afterwards, in the aftermath, everything's ruined. There's a really short scene where they meet the wife, or the ghost of the wife.
Oh, before that, they we see the evil ghosts leave the house, and I guess they're just going out to murder a bunch of people, right?
That's exactly what I said.
Right, it is. I will attest to that. Alan, almost verbatim what Alan said.
I was like, are they just gonna go out and just like murder people now?
But the wife is gonna do some good. She's gonna right some wrongs.
I don't even know what she says. She just kind of shows up at the end.
Well, it's
She doesn't say
very
anything.
Anakin Skywalker, right? Like, why is she, like, unburned and she goes back to normal form, but the other ghosts are just fucked?
Wait, are we talking about Spirit of Anakin as played by Hayden Christensen, or
Yeah.
Spirit of Anakin
Yes.
as played by the... No, never. The answer is never that one. It's always Sebastian Shaw.
Sensitive much, I see.
Keep
Yes.
the X-Men out of this.
Damn it.
But the movie's not over quite yet. There's one very last important part where the nanny says that she's going back to New York and she can't handle it and she's just over ghosts and she's quitting and this is too much, and then it
This
ends.
has become such a regular occurrence. And then, yeah, that's like her rant is just the end.
And for me, I'm on the first fucking plane back to Newark. I'm sorry, family, Kathy, Bobby, Uncle, Ghost. I am sick of this nanny shit. I've had it. This was not in the job description. I quit!